One rapper almost took out an interviewer for asking the wrong question, and another lost his life shortly after an interview where he spoke on a dangerous situation. These are the most disturbing and disrespectful interviews in hip-hop history. Let's kick things off with a rapper known as Baby Loss. Loss started making a name for himself back in 2020 when he linked up with the Island Boys. Fans even considered him the unofficial fourth Island Boy. Loss was with them through thick and thin, including a wild altercation in Hawaii that went viral. But recently, things took a sharp turn during an interview with Who Rich Kevin. Kevin tried to press Loss about a viral video of the Island Boys kissing each other, a clip that had everyone online talking. Loss wasn't having it. That one question struck a nerve, and he completely snapped on the interviewer, flipping the vibe of the conversation in an instant.
I gotta ask you, bro, like, everybody wants to know, did you see the Island Boys kiss?
Bruh, stop mentioning them dudes for real, bro. Like,
no, I'm just saying though, like,
no,
did you
bruh,
see them do something together?
No, fam. Fam, they weren't gay when I was around, fam. Like, bruh, stop doing that, bruh. Like, this interview ain't about that. Like, it could go down in this interview, bruh. Like, do you want it to go down in this interview? Do you want it to go down, yes or no?
Nah.
Thankfully, Lois only checked the interviewer for asking that reckless question because things could have gone south real quick. But he's not the only rapper to pull a gun during an interview. Before we get into that, let's talk about FBG Cash, a Chicago rapper whose fate took a tragic turn shortly after he spoke on something highly disrespectful in an interview. Back in late 2020, FBG Cash made waves when he took a photo in front of King Von's mural, a blatant sign of disrespect toward Von and his people. That one act sparked serious backlash, and his words in that interview didn't make things any better. Not long after taking the picture, FBG Cash sat down with No Jumper to discuss the situation. During the interview, he shared details with Adam, 22, about a conversation he had with Lil Durk before snapping that controversial photo.
What kind of conversation were you having before he told you to go take this photo?
Me, go over there and do that and see what happened to you. I'm outside right now.
You hit him up?
Yeah.
And he was just like, hey, what's up? Why Chicago's so weird because the ops always be talking to each other and like going on live and tweeting at each other and
Doing that interview might have only made things worse for FBG Cash. Not long after, Lil Durk dropped a track where he sent a clear warning rapping, "Sneaking pics by Von's mural like Lil Bro won't come out and spin." Just 3 months after the song's release, tragedy struck. FBG Cash was gunned down while driving on the south side of Chicago. The loss of the well-known Chicago rapper sent shockwaves through the city and the hip-hop community. Just 3 months after the song's release, tragedy struck. FBG Cash was gunned down while driving on the south side of Chicago. The loss of the well-known Chicago rapper sent shockwaves through the city and the hip-hop community.
Well-known Chicago area rapper was killed in a drive-by shooting early this morning in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood. 31-year-old Tristan Hamilton was shot multiple times. According to the Sun-Times, he raps under the name FBG Cash. A 29-year-old woman with him was also shot, taken to the hospital in serious condition.
Now let's talk about another FBG member, Butter. Butter has had his fair share of wild moments during interviews, but one of the most shocking came when he called out O-Block members for their involvement in FBG Duck's murder. In an interview with Say Cheese, Butter claimed that someone from O-Block basically told on themselves after taking Duck out. The moment was chilling, but what really had fans talking was Butter allegedly admitting to taking someone's life during that same interview.
These told on themselves, and they did an interview on top of the murder cop. You stupid.
What about the picture that
Take me to jail. Give me the cups.
Yo, Butter, what
I'll
about the picture that went viral with Moowop wearing with the duck sneakers?
That's clown. And with the same Draco y'all used. Get a feds day evidence.
That's the same?
Homicide can't solve it, but the feds can, right?
Damn.
We talking real business. I'm a real street.
That wasn't the same.
That's
in the document?
Not long after speaking on O-Block, FYB Maine told Butter to sit down, saying he was talking too much. This happened after Butter said, "Picture me sitting on top of a car belonging to someone I killed, Odon."
I'm Butter, Sean. I'm Butter, Sean. Now picture me sitting on top of the car that I just killed on. I got J Maine them in this. I got 4 of them in this. They in this. They killed.
Butter also spoke about Odd's death during an interview with Vlad TV. Here's how he put it. "Man, when it comes to Odd, people don't really understand the streets like that. Things happen, but it ain't for me to say too much. Let's just say, when you're in that life, you gotta be ready for the consequences."
Man, OD got
Right.
Right. Well, Odie Perry got killed at one point. They're saying that she was the shooter. That's the rumor.
I mean, it's footage. It's a video.
Of Odie Perry getting killed?
Yeah.
You saw it?
I ain't seen nothing, man. I just heard the stories, bro.
Okay.
I don't be knowing nothing for real. You know what I'm saying? Not all the time.
Okay, fair enough.
His brother told him he was slacking they homie. Oh, look, bro. I just gave back 192 years. I don't speak on that. Told him, gay. I'm home right now because I blamed on my sister Tyler. Told him. Told.
Rumors have long circulated that the infamous female assassin Kai was responsible for taking out Odie Perry, but recently fans have speculated that it might have actually been FBG Butter who did it and pinned it on his sister Kai since she's no longer alive to defend herself. After Tuka tragically lost his life at a bus stop on 63rd, his crew was determined to get revenge, especially since O-Block members were dissing him relentlessly. Not long after Tuka's death, O-Block member Odie Perry was spotted in the neighborhood. He decided to stop by a store to grab some Swisher Sweets, but shortly after leaving the store on his bike, OD was ambushed. Witnesses reported that OD was shot off his bike, tried to flee, but was hit 10 more times before succumbing to his injuries. A key witness described the shooter as an African-American male, but many believe Key was the one who pulled the trigger. The speculation only grew when Key posted pictures holding one of OD Perry's guns shortly after his death. Adding to the mystery, a popular 63rd member named WKI tweeted, "Shout out to them twins that made O-Block," tagging both Key and FBG Butter. This has led fans to believe that Butter might have been responsible for OD's death and let Kai take the blame. But that's not the only chilling moment from one of Butter's interviews. In a recent conversation with No Jumper, Butter broke down in tears while discussing his sister Kai. He admitted that he'd rather have her fighting for her life right now than lying in a grave.
For her life, gang, it'd be dead. Every day I wish, like, why the they ain't come lock her up, gang? Like, why y'all ain't come lock this girl up, gang? Every day I be like, rather out in Tuka grave, because I be taking care of Quan them phones, Shonda. Like, I be every day for I be on the phone with my little brother them phone, on Tuka for I be talking to them for a day. I be like, I wish this was my little sister I was talking to for on the phone on Tuka grave. I wish this was Kyra. I wish I was laughing with my sister for. I wish I was sending my sister this money. Yeah. I wish I was sending my sister these pictures of me at these interviews on these platforms. I wish I was showing Kyra this shit. On Tuka for that shit hurt my soul every day. On Tuka day. Like, and a lot of people don't understand that because a lot of time everybody think a lot of it be facade. A lot of people don't even go through shit, gang.
Kai lost her life on April 11th, 2014, in one of the most tragic moments tied to Chicago's gang violence. On that day, she made a fatal mistake, tweeting her location for everyone to see, including her enemies. Kai was walking down the block with two friends, heading to the studio to celebrate Boss TR's birthday, but things took a deadly turn when a gunman jumped out of a car, waved bystanders out of the way, and opened fire on Key and her group. Her two friends were hit, but Key suffered the worst, taking 9 bullets. After being shot, she managed to stumble to a nearby house, collapsing on the steps where she took her final breath. Speaking on Key's death, a Chicago figure known as Trenches News shared his first-hand experience of the scene during an interview with Cam Capone News. He described the disturbing moment, claiming smoke was literally rising from her neck as she lay dying, a haunting memory that highlights the brutal reality of the streets.
And did you hear the gunshots and everything going
on?
Oh
yeah, they sound like something special. They was boom, boom, like it had like a Star Wars before it said pow. Like it was crazy, bro. It was crazy, bro. It was crazy as hell, man, that day. And then the police tried to lock up Duck. They told Duck he responsible for it. They just left K.I. on the ground. They ain't try to help her, minister no aid. They ain't try to do none of that. Me and Joe Jackson, me and Manny, FBG, Young and them daddy, we about to go to jail because we like, nah, let him go. So I went over there by K.I. Smoke was coming out her neck, man. It was all sad.
Now let's talk about BTB Savage, a rapper whose interview with DJ Vlad is believed by many to have directly led to his death. In the interview, Savage spoke in a confident, almost cocky tone about an incident where he killed someone in self-defense, a story that quickly caught the internet's attention. According to Savage, a local rapper had been trying to lock down a feature with him for a while. One night, the rapper finally got in touch and they agreed to work together. Later that evening, the rapper pulled up to Savage's apartment with a car full of people. He came inside with another guy, Omar Richardson, while the arrest waited outside, Savage immediately felt something was off as both men were scoping out his apartment. But when Omar flashed a bankroll, Savage relaxed, thinking it was legit. The guys even brought in a box of studio equipment, ready to get to work. Then the rapper said he was missing a few things and went back to the car, leaving Omar inside. That's when things went south. Sensing trouble, Savage locked the door after the rapper left. Moments later, Omar started asking Savage about his jewelry and pulled out a gun, demanding everything. At first, Savage hesitated, but when Omar threatened to shoot his girlfriend, he began taking off his chains. As Omar reached for them, Savage saw an opening. He grabbed Omar, tackled him to the ground, and they began wrestling. During the struggle, Omar dropped his gun. Savage screamed for his girlfriend to grab it, and she fired twice at Omar, but Omar wasn't done. He managed to grab another gun and fired 3 shots at Savage's girlfriend, all of which missed. Savage regained control, telling Omar to leave because his son was in the apartment, but Omar refused and vowed to kill him. Meanwhile, Omar's crew outside started shooting through the door, but none of the shots hit. Savage's girlfriend fired back at the attackers, forcing them to retreat and abandon Omar. Despite being wounded, Omar kept fighting until Savage's girlfriend shot him one final time in the torso, ending the ordeal. Omar succumbed to his injuries, and Savage and his girlfriend were cleared on self-defense. The harrowing incident went viral, and Savage's interview with DJ Vlad racked up over 2 million views in under a week. But the cocky tone he took in the interview didn't sit well with his enemies. His ops weren't happy about the way he spoke on the situation, and the fallout would come sooner than anyone expected.
Yeah, they for sure might do what they do, but I'm gonna get active. That's all it is. And deal with it.
On March 30th, BTB Savage took trolling to another level when he posted pictures on Twitter of himself standing in a pool of dried blood, at the exact spot where Omar Richardson lost his life. Savage was mocking the situation, and the photos instantly went viral since no one had ever seen anything like that online. But just 2 hours after posting those pictures, Savage was driving his Mercedes when 2 gunmen boxed him in and opened fire. By the time help arrived at the scene, it was already too late. Some people blame his interview with DJ Vlad for the tragedy, while others point to the disrespectful photos as the reason for his death. Even though Savage acted in self-defense, the trolling rubbed many people the wrong way and might have sealed his fate. But Savage isn't the only rapper to get disrespectful in an interview and talk wild about someone they killed. Gucci Mane did the same during an infamous interview with Big Shag, where he showed no remorse for taking out Pookie Lock. However, Gucci admitted to regretting many other things he'd done during his time in the streets.
You regret anything you did in the street? Yeah, I'm ashamed of a lot of things. I'm gonna say, yeah, I did some things that I wish I didn't do. Yeah. But I was young. But I did some things that's up, dead wrong to people. And everybody in the neighborhood know that, so I ain't no going around that.
Even with the murder, even though it was self-defense, do you ever think about that and you think like maybe I could have handled that different, especially when you did like the diss record?
He needed to be in the ground. I put his where he supposed to be.
In 2005, Gucci Mane was in the middle of a feud with Young Jeezy. Jeezy released a track where he put a bounty on Gucci's iconic ice cream cone chain, offering $10,000 to anyone who could bring it to him. Not long after, a group of 5 unidentified men showed up at Gucci's house with the intent to rob him of the chain. Gucci fought back, managing to grab a gun in the chaos. He fired a single shot, hitting one of the attackers, later identified as Pookie Lock. 3 days later, Pookie Lock's body was discovered behind a nearby middle school, and the police were called. Once it was confirmed who had been shot, Gucci turned himself in and claimed self-defense. Now shifting gears to Lil Dump from the NBA camp, he had a particularly shocking moment during an interview with No Jumper. In the middle of the interview, he began throwing up repeatedly due to the sheer number of pills he had taken before going on camera.
Anything in particular stand out?
During the interview, Lil Dump declined to discuss the reasons behind his vomiting, leading fans and host Adam22 to express concern for his well-being. The incident highlighted potential health issues, prompting discussions about the pressures faced by artists in the industry.
So what just happened? What just happened?
Something deep in life that, I'd rather not talk about it, but
do you
I can talk to you about it personally as a person, you know what I'm saying? But some, things deep in life.
But I'm just talking about you puking or like the fact that you're kind of drunk, right?
No, I ain't drunk. I'm sober.
You're sober? No alcohol. That's not what's in that cup. I just kind of assumed it was alcohol.
Water.
Oh, okay. So what are you going through right now?
Just some deep things.
You trying to get clean? You trying to get clean?
Get clean.
Off of some other?
Yeah, type at the same time.
In a subsequent appearance on the YouTube series 20 vs. 1, Lil Dump engaged in a conversation with a woman where he boasted about his extensive drug use, claiming he consumed more substances than she could ever imagine. The exchange quickly turned contentious, with both parties exchanging insults about their respective careers and behaviors. This interaction drew criticism from viewers who mocked Lil Dump for perceiving heavy drug use as a point of pride.
Why are you standing like that? Like, stand up, shit. You gotta be louder, like.
I do more drugs than
Me
you
too.
could ever imagine.
That's not, okay.
I know.
In a recent interview with Complex, NBA YoungBoy became visibly frustrated with the line of questioning, telling the interviewer, "Man, you're talking too much." He then abruptly ended the conversation to begin recording music, a move that left fans divided. Some criticized the unprofessionalism, while others praised his dedication to his craft. There is no public evidence to suggest that NBA YoungBoy was under the influence during this interview. However, he has been open about his struggles with substance abuse, including heavy drug use to cope with depression and anxiety. In December 2023, he revealed that he had begun attending rehab. These incidents highlight the pressures and challenges artists face in the music industry, underscoring the importance of mental health support.
A dominant at the same time. You gotta understand they're using me as entertainment, and it becomes self-destruction too. Cause I ain't no entertainment. You know, some can be spoke on. Why? It's to be continued.
Is in terms of like every time it's
The first guy was clearly lying and got super defensive, probably kissed both of them. It's wild how some of these guys confuse stupidity with bravery, pulling guns on interviewers on camera like it proves anything. Honestly, it feels like today's rappers are in some kind of competition to see who can self-destruct the fastest, either landing in a grave or a jail cell. All I see is young talent being wasted in senseless cycles of violence, used as entertainment while they destroy themselves. These interviews have gotten so ridiculous, now anyone can pop up, even people who have nothing to do with rap. At the end of the day, it's just another spectacle for clicks, feeding the internet's appetite for chaos. But it doesn't have to be like this. There's so much more out there. Don't let these streets define your future. If you're enjoying this content, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. It's free and helps us keep bringing you real stories like this one. Let's keep the conversation going.